Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. My name is Parikshit, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the SanDisk Extreme SSD. More specifically, this is a review. I want to talk about its performance and I want to tell you all that you need to know about it. This is a 2TB version of the SSD in the Monterey colorway. And there it is, unboxed in all its glory. I really love the design of this SSD. Now, I went for the 2TB version because I've got a lot of project work that I've accumulated over the last year of studying at Met Film School in London. That, and I needed a fast new work drive. I own a Samsung T7, but it doesn't have enough storage space on there. It's the 512GB version, and yeah, that's not enough. As a video editor, I need tons and tons of fast storage, and this fit that bill perfectly. Like I was saying before, the design of this thing is simply wonderful. I really love that hook slot that it's got, and this soft touch matte finish is glorious to hold. Now, I just hope that over time it doesn't become yucky and disgusting. For some of you, this might be your first time owning an SSD, and so I'd like to give you a size comparison of what it's like against other everyday objects. SSDs are a lot smaller than hard drives, and here it is next to my Beat Studio Buds and my Samsung T7 SSD. In a way, I prefer the soft touch matte finish on the SanDisk SSD. As you can see, I've covered my Samsung T7 in a bunch of gaffer tape because it's gotten all scratched up from using it a ton over these last 3 years. And here's the SSD next to my iPhone 15. Let's do a bit of a speed test now, shall we? This is Blackmagic Design's disk speed test software, and first I'm going to be putting it through its paces by giving it a less stressful file, around a gigabyte or two. And as you can see, the speeds are really quite nice, over a gigabyte of write speed and around 720 megabytes of read speed. Let's bump this up to a higher stress 5GB file, and as you can see, we've got around a 200 MB dip in terms of write speed, and around the same when it comes to read speed. This mostly falls in line with what I expected to happen. This is while the drive is in a sort of fresh, cold state. Now, let's have a look at how it compares to the Samsung T7. Now, the T7 speed test that you're seeing here is an average kind of speed of how much I get usually. I actually feel like the speed of the T7 has dropped by around 100 to 150 megabytes per second. I don't remember it being around 500 to 700. I believe in my initial testing, it was much higher, and you can check that out in my initial T7 review. Regardless though, I've never had this drive fail or crash on me. Now, if you own a MacBook, this is just a quick comparison to the internal SSD on my M1 Pro MacBook Pro. These speeds are actually insane. I don't expect external storage to match up to this, especially USB 3.0 storage. But yeah, if you wanted to know, here's a comparison. This video has been edited entirely off the SanDisk SSD. Now, I do want to talk about one thing, and that's how warm or hot this drive gets under load. I noticed it while I was editing this video, and we gotta talk about this and what this means. Okay, so here's the disk speed test app open after a ton of work on this disk while editing this project, and this is while the drive is quite warm. Now, it doesn't get so hot that you can't touch it, but it does get cozy warm. And the speed didn't seem to drop off by too much, it wasn't a huge difference. As far as I've seen on online forums and people talking about it, it doesn't really seem to pose much of a risk to your data. It's just something that's commonplace with this SSD. How this holds up in the long term? Well, I'll let you know. Now, in terms of compatibility, this drive is compatible with the newer iPhones, as well as any Android phone, iPad, or whatever other device you've got out there. For an iPhone, all you gotta do is plug it in, go over to the Files app, and you'll find the drive sitting there, and you can sift through whatever files you'd like, as you usually would. In terms of computer support, the SanDisk SSD supports both Mac and Windows, and you can format it to APFS or NTFS later on. But yeah, that's mostly what I wanted to cover regarding the SanDisk SSD. If you've got any questions or doubts, feel free to leave them in a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. So yeah, that's been it for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.